I'm in the side of good public services, and there's a negotiation over pay. People work in a labour market, whether we like it or not. This is the worst possible outcome for government, for nurses and for patients. It shows that the union have lost their membership, and it's a failure of leadership. I cannot help but think, had the government done this deal a month before they actually got it over the line, the leadership of the nurses' union could have persuaded enough people to vote in favour of this deal. What we've got now is an impossible situation. The leadership of the RCN can't get their workers back off their strike baton. The morale is so low, and unless something else is offered to them, we could see the worst of all worlds, which is nurses giving up and leaving the sector. And if you think about the NHS, you have to now think we're in a global market. If you're a nurse in Australia, you earn 3 times as much as a UK nurse. Same in the Middle East, 4 times as much. And I know of hundreds of nurses that have left the country to go and work abroad because it's the only way they think they can give their families a decent start.
What are the pensions like over there? Do we know? Are they similar to what you get here in the UK?
I don't know what the pensions are like, Michelle, but I think I can be very certain that you get a lot more money as a nurse in Australia and the Middle East. That's undeniable.
And Canada and the US.
Yeah.
I mean, most developed nations, actually, they get paid more.
And that's a problem. And it's a problem for Rishi Sunak because he came in, you know, he's promising a world-class health service. It may end up costing us more to try and replace the nurses that leave the sector. And so there is a balance here, and there's always an opportunity to find a later deal.
One of his 5 pledges, Tom, isn't it, to get waiting lists down? So this isn't a very good start. You know, we're in April, and actually the National Health Service is still in turmoil.
Yeah.
We just had the junior doctor strike. It's going to rumble on and on.
I just want to point out as well that 75% of union members actually voted to accept the deal. So I'm talking about RCN, which of course is the biggest one. So what do you think they should get offered then, Ben?
Well, I've said on this programme before, I think this is a failure in governance at the highest level. These strikes were well flagged back in June last year. People knew the public sector was in turmoil. Teachers were going to go on strike. The RMT was first out of the gates, if you like. The health service, judges, the judiciary, they were all on strike. Everyone was out for higher pay. And the Royal College of Nurses, to be fair to them, as Tom mentioned, are paid, globally much less than their counterparts. And the Royal College of Nurses has never striked before. This is their first strike in history. So I've got sympathy with the RCN. They started, I think, slightly amateurishly, demanding a 19% wage rise, and they were never going to get that. But then they settled for something that was equally shocking the other end of the spectrum. Having asked for 19%, with real wage reductions of 30% over the last 13 years, to settle on a 5% increase, which is lower than many other unions have settled at, was, I think, a failure in negotiations by Pat Cullen. And as Tom now says, we've got this real mess where Rishi Sunak's on his back foot. The government won't know how to handle it. Pat Cullen is going to have to take a very strong stance, and you're going to have intransigence from both sides. So the problem is going to rumble on, and we have a broken labour market.